Well, here we are, Wombats, the 30th show, the last show of season number 1 of the Terry Jaymes Show, which is no longer going to be called the Terry Jaymes Show. It's going to be called T11, and I will explain all of this when we come back at the start of the year. All right, more on that coming up here in a second. But back in April, I started this where you and I really were both just kind of wondering and hoping that something interesting would happen. It's pretty much the way it was. Not a big giant goal. Let's just kind of see what happens. And I learned a few things out of this. I learned that how much I appreciate my coworkers on Lex and Terry, because doing a show on your own is pretty tough. And, you know, you got to carry the thing. But I also learned I enjoy this part of it. I didn't think I would, but I actually enjoy it. That doesn't mean that the evolution of a T11 now is what it's going to be called. It doesn't mean that it's just going to be me all the time. I'll have more on that here in just a little bit. But, you know, I learned a lot of things about myself on this. I took some crap from people. I got myself a stalker, which is pretty cool, pretty interesting. But overall, I'm very proud of what happened here. And a lot of interesting things did happen. I learned a little bit more about myself. Like I said, I learned more about my coworkers. I learned a lot about you. I learned a lot about what makes you tick and the things that you are interested in, which I'm going to carry over into the new evolution of the thing. Okay, but season 2 is going to start on, January the 8th, I believe. 2 shows a week. Going to be doing 2 shows a week. If I can stream them, I'm going to be streaming them live, which I'm very excited about doing this. So there's a lot of things that I need to learn between now and when I get started. And I'm on my own. I don't have a producer. I'm not very technically inclined. As I've said before, over my entire radio career, I basically had somebody turn my microphone on for me. I don't know anything about all this crappy equipment I have around me, and it's a little intimidating for me. But I'm excited about it. I may have some guests. The shows are going to be a lot more topical. They're going to have a lot more humor in them. I've decided I got to be me more. I'm just going to throw some stuff in there and see what sticks. Some guests from time to time. It's going to be more like a show. It's going to be a show where I'm going to hopefully get all of your involvement in as well. So I'm very excited about that. I'm not sure how long the next season is going to be. And that's what I love about podcasting. That's what I love about this not being my job, is I could quit at any time I want. But I don't want to. I'm enjoying the conversation we're having. I'm enjoying challenging myself on doing a show by myself. I'm enjoying challenging myself on how to get a new camera that works and how to use YouTube properly and how to stream a show live and how to plan a show and how to take phone calls from you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about it. There's going to be changes. When I come out of the box, there's going to be adjustments like all the shows. I mean, the Lex and Terry Show didn't start off the way it is now. We've had a lot of different staff changes. We've had content changes. We've had rule changes we've had to deal with. And so far in podcasts, you don't really need to worry about that unless you want some sort of ad sponsorship. Then you got to give in. You got to make sure that you're appealing to, an advertiser. So there's that. But the holiday stuff is approaching. Got my sister coming to town for Thanksgiving and my brother-in-law, and I'm going to have some time to sleep in a little bit, but I'm not going away. If you follow me on any of my social media pages, I've got something new that I'm going to be starting, and I got a new microphone for it. I got a new camera for it, and that's going to be coming in right away. So if you want to follow any of those links, just go to terryjames.com. All of the links are right there for you. All right. By the way, thank you so much for being here and for going through this with me. It's been a lot of fun. It's been really cool. And I want to thank Larry from Cabas for doing this song right here. Going to have a new song for the next season. So thank you very much for your talents, Larry. I'm free at the top of my lungs. I scream at the top of my lungs, not I'm free. You would think by 30 shows I'd have figured this out. Anyway, guys, here's what's on the show today. I'm going to be talking about city rats versus country rats. Also, let's see here. I got a great message from somebody on Facebook who wanted to know what are three areas in my life, not three areas, they just want to know what areas in my life that I really found I've improved on the most. And I've come up with three of those. I'm going to be talking about that. And the next thing is, are you sick and tired of always having to be the bigger man? Well, you don't have to be. There is a time and a place to be a bigger man. I'm very good at apologizing. Hell, I'm even very good at apologizing for things that I didn't even do just for the sake of stopping an argument around me. I don't have a problem with any of that. One of my, I think, greatest qualities is that I'm able to forgive others very easily, very quickly. All you got to do is say you're sorry with me. That's all you have to do. And I just move forward, you move forward, and everything's good. I even forgive people that don't even say they're sorry. You don't even have to say that. I don't have time to build up all that stuff in my life. But you know what? Sometimes you definitely have to challenge yourself with, do I be a bigger man or not? You know, some people will say that people like me, and I know there's a lot of people like me. In fact, you might be somebody like me who thinks because you've chosen to be positive that you have to be that way all the time. People say that you're afraid of confrontation, all that kind of stuff. That's not true. You're just choosing your time. You're choosing your moments. You're choosing what really matters and what doesn't really matter. And some people will say, when I finally have crossed the line on people, which I have, and I will continue to do so, that, oh, I thought you were supposed to be Mr. Positive, you liar, you this, you're that, you're afraid of confrontation, you're afraid. No, that's not it at all. There's a time to stick up for yourself. There's just a time for it. And I think that everybody has their limits. I believe Gandhi even told somebody, hey, fuck you. Hell, there's that famous story about Mother Teresa walking outside the chapel and bitch slapping somebody. Remember that story? Neither do I, but I made it up. I'm just saying, I know that they have their moments. I know that their limits are pushed. To me, being a bigger man is usually the first choice. It's not always the choice. Okay? I have my own code of conduct that I've developed over the years, and I'm very proud of my own code of conduct. And I adjust it all the time, but I do live my own code of conduct, which I suggest all of us think about your own code. Think about your own limits, your own things. Think about that and then live up to it. Okay? There's a famous scene in a movie that really inspires me. And I hope you don't take this wrong, but I'm going to play it for you. I'm going to play it for you right now. This is what it's all about. For all of you good people out there that have chosen to sometimes look the other way, apologize for things there's no need to apologize for, I'm playing this clip just for you because you are strong. Don't take shit from anybody. Don't let somebody try to get under your skin. Oh, you're supposed to be positive. That's not who you are. You're a fraud. You're not a fraud. You're a human. You're a human who's standing up for you and love and everything else you're standing up for. Here you go, guys.
Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
We are stronger than some of you think, motherfuckers. Got a really good question from somebody on my Facebook page. Thanks for following me on Facebook. We're going to have a new Facebook page for everybody who follows this show, the Terry Jaymes Show, which is now becoming T11 with Terry Jaymes. Explanation on the title, as I've said before, coming up. But this question I thought was pretty good. They wanted to know, what are some of the changes that I've made over the past few years that have really helped to move my life forward? And I started thinking there are three that are really important. And the first one was I've stopped making a lot of excuses. Making excuses sometimes for eating poorly, not working out, treating somebody poorly, things like that, not succeeding where you're supposed to succeed, where you have visualized all that stuff happening. I think it's very natural for us to make excuses. Makes yourself feel better, right? But I've stopped making excuses, and for a while, I was stopped making excuses, and in turn, I traded that for just beating the shit out of myself. And I don't think that that's a right thing to do either. So, because all that did is make you feel bad, you know? It's like, oh, it's all my fault. No excuses, you know? I really believe that stopping all the excuses, even when you say it, you know you're making it up. I know a few people in my life that make excuses for things who I believe really believe it. But I think most healthy-minded people, when you're making an excuse, you know you're making an excuse. It's just to let somebody else know, or to get buy a lie, or whatever it is you're trying to pull the wool over somebody's eyes, but you're never really pulling the wool over somebody's eyes. They know you're just making an excuse. So one of the things that I've really done and really have worked on was stop making excuses internally, own my responsibility for it, know that I can do better, and then do my best to be better and not beat the shit out of myself. Okay, so there's one thing. Another thing is, and this is something I'm still working on, is criticizing others. It's pretty tough right now for me to not criticize others. And that's been a big problem for me because I have this certain script sometimes, especially professionally, that I want people to act a certain way, do things the way that I would do. And I can't believe that they don't think that way. And I had to realize people are people. People are going to make their own decisions. They're going to have to suffer sometimes the consequences of making their own decisions. And it's not up to me to be the police of that. If they're fine with some of the things they're doing, good. But I have a choice to either be around them. I have a choice to work with them. I have a choice, and we all have that choice. So criticizing others would be another thing that I think that I've been a lot better at. I'm definitely not perfect at it. But I know it when I do it, at least. I've got to the level where I'm going, oh, that's not an attractive trait, Terry. Don't do that. So doing better there. One of the and that's, I think, out of the three that I'm going to mention here, that's the one that I think I need the most improvement on. Another one I think that is horrible for anything is gossip. Getting in a gossipy situation. Did you hear what Tina's doing? Tina and her boyfriend had a fight. Who gives a damn? Who cares? That's Tina and her boyfriend's problem. Why do I have to be in this? And why do the people that you're gossiping to, do you think they really care about it? The only person that looks bad in that is not Tina. It's not her boyfriend. It's you for doing the gossip. Gossip is a very painful, bad thing. And it's kind of fun to, especially in today's day and age when everybody's living their life online. Everybody thinks they need to be genuine. They need to do this. They need to do that. And they like pointing out when other people aren't. And sometimes you're just completely wrong. So eliminating the gossip. And I have done things that could be borderline gossipy sometimes. And here's an excuse that I'm going to use is that sometimes I chalk that up to, well, I'm just getting things off of my chest about somebody who has a similar problem with a similar person. So that's about as far as I'll go with it. Just to, hey, am I right with this? Am I reading the situation correct? Are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing? I don't care about somebody else's personal life. I don't care about somebody else's sexuality, how much money they make, where they're going on vacation, that they got in a fight, that they're going to quit their job, that they're going to do whatever. Get out of the whole gossip thing and your life will be so much better. I'm going to start this segment the way I start. From what I'm understanding now, a majority of my segment says, I was sitting at the coffee shop. I like the coffee shop. I have heard so many funny things at the coffee shop. I've overheard arguments. I've seen almost fights. I've seen just a lot of different things at the coffee shop. And I sit there, I keep my pie hole shut, and I just kind of observe the world around me. And today I'm sitting there. And it's a cooler day. I've got this hoodie on that I'm wearing now. I got a coat over it, sitting there drinking my espresso. And I'm noticing all these people walking by because it was around lunchtime. And like I said, I live right in the middle of the Amazon campus. And Seattle is a very international city. People from all over the world come to work here, not just in the tech field, but also in the health field. There's a big cancer research thing. There's all kinds of biospheres. There's all different kinds of stuff like that out here. And it lends to a lot of different type of people walking the streets. And I really enjoy that vibe for now, for this time of my life. I really enjoy the vibe. I seriously was just sitting there and enjoying all the different accents that were walking by, talking about work, talking about this, talking about their team meetings. It was very interesting, and I started to pay more attention today to all the different accents, all the different languages, not just accents. People speaking languages I don't know what the hell they are. Everybody in different races, all different types of races, all different types of attire, people wearing different clothes. I can even tell now when somebody's from a European city just by their Nikes, just by the fact that, hey, they're wearing something I can't get here type of thing. All the different dreams that people have that are walking around downtown. We're all living in this area, but all of us have these big, gigantic dreams that bring us to a city that you have to go around and meet people and in your same field and do all that kind of stuff. So there's that. Then there's all the different thoughts and religions, and I could just go on and on and on about it. And right now, I really enjoy that. I'm not ready yet, and I'm going to say something here, and I don't want it to sound like I'm knocking people who don't live in a city, because trust me, there's a lot of great things about not living in a city, and there's a lot of bad things about living in a city. But I'm just not ready to see the same looking people every day, and everybody has the same opinion about everything, and everybody votes the same, and everybody's this and that. I'm just not ready for that yet. I find this just a little more energetic, and I don't know if you've ever heard the analogy about city rats and country rats. Where at the end of the day, we're basically all rats. City rats have to learn to adapt to living in the city. They got to find food in a different area. They got to find shelter in a different area. They got to learn to swerve in and out of traffic. They got to know when to go out and everything else. Same with a country rat. They've got their own little vibe going. You know, where do I get food? Where do I live? Where do I do all that kind of stuff? Maybe I'm giving rats too much credit. But at the end of the day, damn it, we're all just rats. Well, there you go. I did something I said I was going to do. I said I was going to do 30 shows. I did it to the exact day that I said it was going to happen. So thank you so much for being here, everybody. I'm really excited about the evolution of this. I would hope that by the next time you see me that there's going to be a new studio and all that kind of fancy schmancy stuff. I'm just not to that level yet. That's where I fell a little bit short, but I'm very excited about all the other stuff that's happening. Thank you so much, Larry, again, for the use of your song. You're fantastic. Just a really great guy. Wombats. We will see you on January the 8th, and then another show on the 11th. If you go to terryjames.com, there's a schedule at the top that will let you know the exact times as I plan to stream these things live. Okay? So there you go. I mean, I know that on the live stream there's going to be like 5 people. I get it. But I like being on the ropes. I like doing things live on the show. I don't like the ability to go back and edit something or to go, I didn't like that. I'm going to start it over. I like flying without a, what's it called? I like walking the tightrope without a net. That's the way I do my best work. So you guys have a great vacation. Happy Thanksgiving. And I'll see you guys in the new year. Love you guys. Thank you.